Let's learn how to divide a decimal by a decimal. As you see in this problem, not only what we're dividing, but what we're dividing by, both are decimal numbers. In order to solve this, we're going to multiply both the divisor and what we're dividing, the dividend, by the same power of 10. In this case, 10 to the first power, because there's only one decimal place within our divisor. So 0.5 times 10 and 6.4 times 10. 0.5 times 10 is just 5. 6.4 times 10 is 64. And now I'm left with the problem of 64 divided by 5, which is easy and simple to solve. 5 goes into 6 one whole time. 1 times 5 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down the 4. 14 divided by 5 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And 14 minus 10 is 4. Now I do have to add a decimal place here, and I'll bring that straight down. 40 divided by 5 is 8. And again, the reason I can add a decimal point and a place there is 64.0, or 64 and 0 tenths is the same as 64. Doing my last step of that division process, 8 times 5 is 40, and 40 minus 40 is 0. Since I'm at 0 now, I'm done, besides placing the decimal point. 1 decimal point here, and therefore 1 decimal point inside of my answer. So 6 and 4 tenths divided by 5 tenths is 12 and 8 tenths, written as 6.4 divided by 0.5 equaling 12.8. I have another problem. 3.06 divided by 0.2 is what's written there. And to know to what power of 10 that I multiply by, I look at the divisor. In looking at the divisor, how many decimal places are there? Right, 1. So I multiply by 10 to the first power, which is just 10. And I multiply both by 10. 3.06 times 10. I'll end up moving the decimal place 1 over to the right. You'll see why. A place is 0, because the 1 is worth 10. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 0 is 0. And 1 times 3 is 3. 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. And then so that's 30.6. And what I was saying is that you move the decimal point 1 over to the right there. So that's 30.6. And again, 0.2 times 10, 1 decimal place to the right, is 2. So I'm dividing 30 and 6 tenths, or 30.6, by 2. I do those steps, and you'll see that I have an answer there. I'm not going to place the decimal point because I'll walk you through that portion one more time. So we have 153 within our answer here, but that's not our answer because there is a decimal point right here. That decimal point, since there's 1 there and 1 place value there, it will come straight up, and that's why it's 15.3 as our answer. And I'll write our answer in right next to our equation. Read that whole equation with me. Let's read it how it's written. 3.06 divided by 0.2 equals 15.3. Now let's read it in the proper way, in the mathematical way. 3 and 6 hundredths divided by 2 tenths equals 15 and 3 tenths. You go ahead and try one. Let's try 4 and 38 hundredths divided by 1 tenth. Think about what you're going to multiply by. Hit pause. Did you multiply both by 10? Hopefully you did. 1 tenth times 10 is 1, so I'm dividing by 1. What am I dividing? I'm dividing 43.8, where I move the decimal point 1 place over. 43.8 divided by 1 is just going to be 43.8. And I'm done with my answer there. Anything divided by 1 is itself. Here I have 5 and 26 hundredths divided by 2 tenths. So it's your turn again. Please go ahead and hit pause. To solve this again, I'll multiply both of those. There, what we're dividing and what we're dividing by 10, and the reason I chose 10 again is because there's only one decimal place here, so it's 10 to the first power. 0.2 times 10 just leaves us with 2 as our divisor, and we'll move the decimal place 1 over to get 52.6 there. 2 goes into 5 2 whole times. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down the 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 minus 6 is 0. Decimal point comes straight up because I'm dividing by a whole number. There's only one decimal place there. So the answer is 26.3. 5.26 divided by 0.2 equals 26.3. Read it using hundredths and tenths. 5 and 26 hundredths divided by 2 tenths equals 26 and 3 tenths. All right, let's go ahead and review. Go ahead and point at the divisor here. Hopefully you're pointing at this right here. Point at the dividend. It's right there. And we're trying to figure out the quotient or an answer to a division problem. Again, the way that we'll go ahead and write it is we'll write it as 3.26, and we'll write 0.2 as that divisor. Our next step is to do what? Did you say multiply by 10? Hope so. Not only do we multiply the dividend by 10, but we also multiply the divisor by 10. Why are we multiplying by 10? Because there's one place value within our divisor, and we're trying to make that divisor a whole number. And we do that. 0.2 times 10 is 2. Inside here, for our division, for our dividend, we write what? 32.6. How many place values is our quotient going to have? Right, 1. Right, 1, because we have 1 right here. That's it. And we're dividing by a whole number at this point. So we just do those steps. Step by step, that we do our division problem correctly. And if we do our division problem correctly, then and we place our decimal point correctly, then we end up with the right answer. We end up with that right answer. Is there a way to check this? Of course there is. Inverse of division is multiplication. So if we had 16.3, we're multiplying it by 0.2. And you'll notice there's 2 decimal places here, multiplication. So there's going to be 2 decimal points within our product or our answer. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 2, regroup the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And again, 2 decimal places. 3.26, 3.26. They match. This checks. Our math is valid. You did good work.